All right, welcome back to my definitive question and answer series about my book, Dark Mode. And I'm going to read a short part of the story Field House, which is the fourth story in the anthology of interconnected short speculative fiction. All right. "Oh my," Janice exclaimed. "Bill, you need to see a doctor. Your eyes and ears are in terrible condition." William scoffed at the suggestion. "I don't need a doctor. My implants have never failed me. I could do without them anyhow." As he spoke these words, his eyes clouded over again. He looked down at the plate where his fork and knife had been cutting across the pork chop. The utensils were still in the air, only now they moved back and forth, hovering over thin air. His hands lurched to the side where the butter had been. Only now, in its place, was the corpse of a mouse. The head had been cut off, and William's knife was inside of its body, where the rotted insides had turned into a creamy liquid. He instinctively pulled his hands back and covered his ears from the sound of scratching. He had cut into the porcelain. Simultaneously, his nose began to pick up the odor of rotting meat. "Did I eat all the pork? And there's a mouse on the table." He looked to Janice for comfort, but his eyes were obstructed, and he could only see a cloudy figure standing in front of him. "Janice, I can't see your face at all." She walked over to the phone and quickly dialed a number. "Hello, I need a doctor. My husband's implants are failing." "Yes, we're at the field house on lot 11. She walked back to William and put her hands around him. Poor William, he was a kind man who deserved to have a warm meal and a comforting partner. When he looked at her with his failing eyesight, she was merely a hazy figure with her arms stretched out around him as he descended into misery. She put her hand on his cheek. At least her touch could still be felt. All right, so that is once again the fourth story from my book, Dark Mode, The Drawing Room. It's a connection of short speculative fiction and anthology with interconnecting stories. I'm just going to briefly talk about Field House. There's an idea in the book's universe where the Earth enters an asteroid belt. And at that point in time, these ships appear in the sky. There are three kinds of ships. And I had this idea to hire an artist to draw the ships, along with other like artifacts in the book to make it look like they were like actual blueprints, actual transcriptions of a news show, which is in one of the stories currently. So it would still be really cool to do that. In the story, The Pilot, it deals really directly with those aircraft. It's about a guy who really wants to be a pilot for the ships, but aliens are the pilots, so he can't do it. So that premise or that concept plays a direct role in the story Fieldhouse because there are two basic questions, and both of them will be spoilers. So the first one is that near the end of the story, William looks up and sees a ship he's never seen before. It says in the text, the ship he's looking at is one of these alien spacecraft, and that's in there for a few reasons. But the main reason is because he's seeing the effect of aliens on our planet. So the number two thing, which is a huge spoiler, is why is Janice a monster at the end of the story? And it's once again because he's seeing things without the enhancements, without the eye and ear and sensory implants that have been given to all people. At a certain point in the future, when the government can no longer keep things in good working function, and instead they give us things that make us blind and deaf to those harsh realities. So hopefully that is a good enough explanation for why those things happen in the story. I'm a bit torn about whether or not to make a video about the three stories, The Pilot, The Gold Key, and well, it's mostly just those two, The Pilot and The Gold Key, the ones that deal very directly with what I was just talking about. If I don't, hopefully that gives a good enough explanation. Otherwise, you've got Fieldhouse right there on the cover, and you've got the asteroid right there. The Gold Key's there. There's absolutely nothing on here about The Pilot, but it didn't make this cut of the book. Those will be in the full 11-story author's edition when it comes out. Otherwise, you've got Fieldhouse available right now for purchase on Amazon. Go buy it today and have a lovely week and weekend and so forth.